Hello there. Welcome to this little video on flipped classroom, where I'll discuss what's a flipped classroom, what are the good things about it, what are the bad things about it, and should you do it? So let's get into this. What is a flipped classroom? Well, normally in a classroom, students will do all their learning in the class. They'll watch a lesson, they will take notes, they will do the learning in the class. Then they go home and they apply that learning. So they do their practice problems, they do their readings, they write their papers, whatever they're doing, they do that application at home. Now the idea with the flipped classroom is to flip the roles of these different environments. In this way, the students will do their learning at home, whether that's through videos or blogs or however you want to get the learning across. They would do that at home. And then when they come to the class, they would do that application in the class. So why on earth would you want to do this? Well, one of the good reasons is students will have an infinite access to this material. So they will be able to watch the videos over and over again. They can study for it again right before the exam, right before the final. They can watch this as many times as they want. Students can also go at their own pace. They can pause the videos, they can stop in the middle of it, they can re-watch the segments as many times as they need until they actually understand what the video is saying. This also gives more time in the classroom to do some one-on-one interactions, meaning if there's a student who's really struggling with something, you have more time now in the class to be able to talk to them about what they're struggling with. You're not spending at least half the class on a lesson. You can interact more with the students. This also gives more time to do projects, discussions, experiments, more of this application time and less on the teaching. This also helps with promoting self-learning and self-assessment, a great tool for students to have as they're moving on in their learning career. They need to self-assess, what do I learn, what do I not understand, and how can I go about understanding that? They watch a video, they need to think, did I understand that? Or do I need to ask questions or rewatch the video? And also parents can be involved. So often parents don't understand the material of what the students are learning in class, so they can't help out at home unless they have a good knowledge of the material. This way they could even watch the videos with the students if they wanted to help out with some of the understanding. Now, what are some drawbacks? Because obviously this is not a perfect plan. This could be a tough transition into a flipped classroom. Since the majority of the class time is used for lessons, the students sit there, they just absorb information. It's really tough to get them to transition to actively learning, trying to assess whether they understand something instead of just being able to sit in a class and listen to someone tell them the information. They actually need to sort through that, and this can be a tough transition. They can also feel isolated. They feel like they're doing all the learning by themselves at home, and then they just come to class and work. They can at times feel isolated, as if they're doing this all by themselves. The teacher's not teaching them, they're doing everything by themselves, which is not true, but this is a feeling that I've experienced with students in the past. And also, we as teachers are assuming that they have a good learning environment, assuming that they're able to get some quiet time to learn, or that they don't have jobs that take up a lot of time or sports that take up a lot of time. There's an assumption that they will have an opportunity to actually watch the video in a good learning environment. So overall, is it worth it? In my opinion, I think it is worth it. It's something to try out with each of your classes. I really enjoy having so much more class time to be able to interact with the students and being able to focus on the material that they struggle with. I spend less time on, material that they actually understand and more time on what they struggle with. Even though it's a bit of a transition time for the students, I think if you can prepare and kind of foster the idea of this flipped classroom at the beginning, they'll see the benefits, especially with the high schoolers, seeing this transition into university and kind of guiding them through that. where there's a little bit less structure in university. So that is the video on flipped classroom. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I don't know who's all gonna watch this, but this is just my thoughts on it right now. I think it's definitely worth it.